Okay, we got a good score on meat this week. Let me show you how I prepare mine. First, always clean your workstation with vinegar. That's a must. Vinegar is so much better, especially on stainless steel. It gets everything really clean. And believe it or not, what better way to clean your hands but with vinegar. So I got a nice cut of meat. It's a bottom round roast. I got a really good price, which was $5.99 a pound. And as everybody knows, bottom round is on the tougher side of the meat. But the way I'm going to show you, it will be tender. Let me get out this big bad boy. I started it. As you can see, I'm making stir fry. So this is what is this, a 10 pound, babe?
Yeah.
10 pounds? 10 pounds of meat here. So what I do is I just use my muscles, which I don't have. And my very sharp knife, and Stormy has his nose stuck in it already. So let's see if we can cut through this bottom. I asked them not to trim it, and there's a reason behind it, and I will show you in a second. Get your nose out of here. Go on. The dogs always get the pieces of raw meat that I don't want. So let me put this aside. Now with this, you see a big piece of fat. What are you going to do with it? I'll show you. I trim it off my meat. I don't like fat on my meat, and my son actually refuses to eat meat that has fat on it. So I'm going to remove the fat. And this dulls your knife pretty quickly. Okay. Let me cut this in half. It'll make it easier for me. Start here, watch your fingers. And just basically try to get as little meat as possible. And I'll show you why in a second. Never fails. Every time you go to do a video, a fly has to make its cameo appearance. Okay, that looks like it's pretty good. A little bit of, I can go back and trim that again if I want to. But with this, you're like, what do you do with this? Well, you don't throw it in the garbage. You put it in a bag until you get enough meat, enough fat. And what I do is I render it down and strain it. And that is what you make face cream with, body cream with, beef tallow. You put a little manuka honey in it, a little geranium, and you put it on your face. Great, fabulous. And you only paid for it once. You're not paying $40 or $50 a jar for that big, when all you have to do is get your meat fat. So let's get into this. Let's look for, always look for the grain, because you want to go against the grain. And a little secret is, once you start, don't stop, because you always lose the grain. And let's see. Okay, that grain goes that way. I'm going to take a little bit more. I call this silver. I don't know what they call, you guys call it. There we go. Now it's nice and clean. And let's see. Stormy. Here. Good boy. Dixon. Here. Jasmine. Come here, girlie. Come on, baby. No. Come on, baby. Come on, girlie. And Jasmine. And that's where the rest goes. So again, we're going to find the grain. What I like to do is to cut it in small. No more. No more. Cut it in small slivers. I had a piece of meat on my arm. At this point, you could leave them like this and make like cheesesteaks or something like that. Just hammer them down. We don't usually eat cheesesteaks because we really don't eat bread. So I like to make a lot of stir fries. They're just so much easier. So we're going to continue to cut. Don't lose the grain. Okay, there we go. We have all your pieces. Just put them in a workable stack, and I do it very fine. A good way to do it is if you semi-freeze it, it would cut a lot easier. But because I just picked this up, like I said, it was on sale. Believe it or not, $5.99 a pound for bottom round. But it was on sale. So I grabbed 20 pounds of it. And the butcher laughs at me. I told him, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Feed your family. He goes, I get it, I get it. And then I said to him, can you leave the fat on it? He goes, yeah, why? I said, you really want to know? And he says, yeah. I said, because I make face cream out of it. He said, oh. I'm like, no, it's really good. Like, it really helps your skin. Makes you nice and soft. I feel that it helps your wrinkles too. But that's just me. What do you think, babe? Does it help your wrinkles?
I think it's not help for me.
So then I'll continue to put this over here. And it's actually relaxing to sit in a corner. Because that's the only place I have to do it.
Sorry.
That's alright. It's in the corner. There's, my kitchen's tiny. And right now I have green tea steeping. I got like, what is that, a 8-quart or 10-quart?
Something like that.
10-quart of green tea steeping. Because they say, so they say, but do your homework, that's the nature's Ozempic. So I'm going to Ozempic it out and see what happens. So, continue. I'm going to do this one piece and then I'll let you guys go, because not only do I have to do all this, I have another 10-pound roast to do, which I think I'm going to make for beef stew. And, oh Lord, I think I got like 10 pounds of chicken that has to be done. But once you get it all in your freezer, and you do all this prep work now, all you have to do is pull it out. And it's there for you. You don't have to do this on a Monday when you really don't want to. And let me just... Okay. I'm not going to keep you with the rest of this. It's just basically the same thing. You cut the fat off it. You take the fat and save it for your skin. Once you make your skin product, which I will bring a video on how to make the skin product. Always cut with the against the grain. Do them in small pieces. Or if you're going to do a roast, measure it out. Make sure you get the fat off it. Or if you want to leave the fat on, especially for a roast. Usually about a half a pound for each person. Never fails. So you figure you get, in my family, I like to send my son off to work with it. So a pound and a half. So how many meals are you getting out of a 10-pound roast? This, forget it. You're getting, like I said, you're making tacos, or you're making fajitas, or you're making a stir fry. You're only putting like maybe 4 ounces of meat, you know, with, like I said, with the roast, I said pounds before, it's not pounds. 4 or 5 ounces of meat with, of course, the potatoes and carrots or what have you. So you're getting a lot of meals out of 10 pounds. I mean, at $5.99 a pound, did I want to pay it? No. But it's better than $9 a pound, which it is here in Jersey anyway. So let me just show you what I do now. I'm going to put this aside and then I will let you go. This is what I got out of, it's probably about 5 pounds of meat there, if that. Now remember I told you that bottom round is really a tougher end of a meat. What are you going to do when you cook it? Are you going to be like playing with a rubber band? No. I will tell you a secret. Again, with vinegar. You put a little bit of vinegar in there. Maybe about a tablespoon. And then mix it around. Don't put too much vinegar, because then when you go to thaw out your meat, if you're freezing it, you'll have nothing but mush. Which, if you're making corned beef hash, you want the mush. Okay, so then you're going to make sure this is all through. You put it aside. Right now, the vinegar is breaking down all of the what do you call them? Like, I call them strings. Babe, what do you call them?
What?
The thing that makes the meat tough. tendons?
I guess.
Yeah. I call them strings because I don't like stringy meat. You're breaking down all of the fat molecules and actually see how it already is starting, and it makes it softer, and it makes it more tender. And I tell you, there's another secret, if you really want to do it, is when I freeze it just like this. I'll put them in, say I'm going to do for the month, because I go by the month. If I want to do 10 meals of fajitas, 2 pounds, if that. And that's a lot of meat for fajitas. But like I said, I give my son some for lunch. And then what you'll do is you'll bag it up with the vinegar and freeze it. Now, if you want to make it extra, extra tender, once it's thawed out, mix up like a teaspoon or maybe a little bit more, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Mix it up in some water. Make sure all your baking soda is disintegrated. I know that. Is it disintegrated? I don't know. Whatever. Make sure it's all gone.
Dissipated.
Dissipated. Oh, excuse me. Dissipated. And let your meat soak in it. 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, because you don't want it to have that chemical taste. And then what you do is you wash your meat really, really good, and you will have the most tenderest meat possible. You think you'd be eating filet mignon. And always make sure your pan is hot. Do what you got to do. However you cook your thing. I could show you the way I do fajitas in a future video. But this is just how you do it with the meat. And that's it. Here we go. And there I go with so much more. But I will get that done. And you know how to cut up a roast, hopefully. You know, let's just, make believe you cut off the fat. You know, it depends on how many people you got in your house. I'd cut up like maybe about 1.5 pounds, which you don't think is, a lot, but it is. Or even 2 pounds if you want. And cut it up. What you do with that is, because of your roast, you will take your knife and kind of just do a little bit of holes. Take your vinegar, either a wet paper towel or one of those little brushy things, and brush all your meat. You're getting it inside the meat because you are poking the holes. Stick it in a freezer bag, put it in the freezer. Again, when you take it out, do your baking soda and your water brine. Let it sit for 15 minutes and roast it. You have the perfect meat that you didn't pay $20 a pound for. You paid $5.99 a pound for. And it tastes just as good, if not better. So with that, let me get back to my job before all hell breaks loose in this house. It's quiet right now. And I will bring you on my next video. Hopefully we will do the chicken. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.